Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? My icon is bumping, I think. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace and his love, right? Trust me on that. I need his love at this point. At this point, well, at all points, right? But it is getting pretty wacky out there. And good morning. Yes, I'm glad you made the morning show. Well, it's a little later today, and I was thinking, hey Jake, and I was thinking of even maybe another hour later. And I know that a lot more people will probably make that because a lot of people wanted it later anyway. I made it early to improve the content, But it's really, I think, easier for people to come at 7 or 8. My time, so that would be like, I don't know, 9 or 10 your time or something like that. Or whatever. I don't know what it is over there. But yeah, I'm just happy. I don't even think that I could feel any better than I do right now. I'm like, yesterday I got probably the most sleep that I've gotten in, like, it's not a ton, right? But it's the most that I've gotten in probably a decade, like that long. And it was a couple different naps or whatever, but it was, I caught up on my sleep. I ate good, like really good, and I just feel like an animal right now. I feel good. And it seemed like everything that I was trying to hold together, right, by trying to appease this person, trying to appease that person, trying to hold things together in my own way, right? It seemed like whenever that slipped away, it only made things better, right? And so like it's really what went away was my own effort, right? Like doing things in my own effort is not good. God has a divine plan to get everybody where they need to be. And my job is to keep my heart clean and open to where I can forgive everybody, right? And love everybody. And so that's where I'm at with that. And so it's really not really up to me at that point, right? And so I trust him. I trust him with everything. So how are you guys doing today? What do you have going on? I saw one of your videos on your channel and I thought it was pretty cool. I forget what it was. I forget what video did I message on. I can't remember. I don't know if you're still here. Oh, hey, Deb, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, so it's early out west. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. And yeah, I gotta like really just let like trust God that He's gonna put things back together. You're usually up at 6:30. Oh, 6:30 my time or 6:30 your time. Was that ain't bad if you're waking up at 8:30. That's actually pretty good. Shoot, that's good sleep right there. Well, I remember before I get into I got some verses about Jesus, and that's going to be the main focus of what we do today. I'm just waiting for more people to show up. But my ex-wife, when she was pregnant with our first, when she was pregnant with our first kid, with Will, right? She got this disease, right, called PUPS, right? and I don't know, something, I don't know, she had some kind of allergy to pregnancy. And I mean, she would just be scratching herself all day and all night long, just scratching everywhere, her whole skin itched everywhere. And so, I mean, she was suffering like this was difficult, very difficult. And so I remembered, like, having to do the oatmeal baths and get those ready and, you know, rub lotion on and all that stuff, right? Because I mean, she really like suffered. And I remember because I was in the army, so of course I had to be at work real early and run 6 miles, and I was in good shape back then. But it was like zero sleep, man. Like, like I got like maybe an hour's sleep a night, maybe during those days, and it was hard, right? And so when the baby was born, uh, everyone was telling me, "Oh, you're never gonna sleep again with this new baby." But as soon as he was born, oh man, we got so much sleep, like way more than we were getting before he was born. And then to top it off, right, he was one of those babies that like almost right away slept through the night. And so like, we were just very blessed, very, very, very blessed. And we had to wake him up to feed him, because we couldn't let him sleep past certain hours because he wouldn't get enough food if we did that. But he never, oh man, he was just never a problem. Yeah, just good, right? And you're like, man, why are you so good? And then you take them to, like, where they play on the playground, and then they're nice to the other kids and everything, polite. And you're like, well, I'm glad that he's like that, but I didn't do that to him. He was already like that when I got him. Yeah, you learn a lot about love, right, when you start having kids. I used to think I knew what love was, right? Of course, you love your mom, you love your brothers, things like that, right? You love your girlfriend, your wife, right? But when the kids come, it's something else, isn't it? And so, oh man, what happened to my, oh no, I hope that, why did that turn off? Oh, maybe because I need to charge it up. Can you guys still hear me if I'm like this, or is it like muffled? If it's a little bit muffled, let me know. I can fix that because I want to get those verses up. Or is it more clear, better like this? All right, I'm fixing it. Oh, when Samantha was, well, Cole was good too. He just was wild. Like he would like climb the car or something, or be on the roof. You know what I mean? Like you had to worry about where he was, like, because he would turn on like power tools, or if he had a chance, he would do that. I'm not sure if he has done it, but he would do it. If he knew how to turn on a chainsaw, he would do it. And so we always had to worry about where he was, all the time. We'd be on a conversation with my wife during lunch, and I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Where's Cole? Are you keep an eye on Cole? Hey, Alex, what's going on, my brother?" Yeah, yeah, Alex is here. He's right there. Want me to do this? Do you want me to click every Alex comment that I see so that you can see it? Because he could see you. Now look at all those wrenches out there, probably. Now people are going to feel intimidated when they come. I might have to reset again and figure this out. People are going to be intimidated when they first show up. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. I want new people to feel like more like equal, And you guys are always nice. I don't worry about that. But okay, I got to put on the internet here. Hold on a second, guys. I put on the hotspot. I can't believe I'm doing all of this with no internet service. No internet service. Got two things online right now. Oh, this is just I'll tell you what, the Lord provides a way, that's for sure. And I'll click that. Okay. And sorry about this. I had it already right before the show, and uh, and it somehow got reset. And so I am just pulling up what I need to pull. Oh, it's already still there. Okay, cool. Cool. I thought I was gonna have to do that again. And so yeah, like the whole thing is everything is about Jesus. Everything. And he's the answer to everything too, right? And so so like I know that Stephanie put it that way one time where we were 5 minutes into a 45-minute show and we have no notes beforehand. She's like, "Oh, Jesus is the answer to everything." Like, okay, good night, everybody. But really, it's the truth, right? The sooner you get to Jesus, the quicker everything gets solved. Because let's say we're in here arguing about, defining salvation or whatever, right? Well, we're in here arguing about that when you can just go straight to God and say, I need help with this, and read the books that you need to read where it talks about salvation the most. And if I'm praying to God every morning and he's helping me with my little show, right, then he's definitely going to help you with your salvation. And so he wants us to be saved. He wants us to seek him. It's a relationship with him. And so I would say just do everything it says about salvation in the Bible. I'd probably start out by reading probably Romans 8 through like 12, chapters 8 through 12 of 1 Corinthians, Galatians, and the book of John, and Ephesians chapter 2. And there's more. It's better to read all of it, but start with that. And you're taking off? Why are you taking off? Deb, why are you taking off? Deb, why are you taking off? What are you talking about? I don't understand what she's talking about. Well, I never get tired of Jesus, that's for sure. So I don't know what she meant by that. And so it's just like that for every problem that we have, And love you, Deb. God bless you. And so I like these verses about Jesus, and I only really got like 10 verses in, and there I got about 40 of them, and so she's back already. And thanks. It's good for the numbers, right? Look at the number on there. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. When we're like 25 minutes in, then people start showing up. All right. So Hebrews chapter 10, and it would have been cool if Debbie would have stayed, but all right. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down on the right hand of the throne of God. I'm going to read that again. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. That sounds like the This is the beginning and the end, right, of our faith, right? Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, paid the price, despising the shame, and is set down on the right hand of the throne of God. It says there, he's the beginning, author and finisher of our faith. He paid the price, and he's at the right hand of God, right? Can't get any more clear than that. And so, hold on one second, guys. I'll do one thing. I don't know, man. Tuesdays are kind of weird. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that. All right. And so, yeah, it's all his work, right? I mean, it's paid in full. And so to even suggest, right, that anything we do could change that, like anything we do could add to that, or I mean, I don't know. I would just say do it exactly the way it says, you know? Because like that's the one thing I've learned now, right? Is I don't have to have an opinion about anything because it's all written in the Bible. Like you just read it and do it. And if it says it in there, just do it. And see, like we're gonna end up doing most of the stuff anyway. It's extra because there is no extra stuff. It's all in there. Hey, what's going on, Daniel? Oh, you changed it up, huh? Is that your real name, man? Is that? Well, hello, Daniel. I'm glad that you're here, man. Now I'm gonna remember it because now I've seen it like that. But there's some names I'm not good at because Michigander, that's his name. That's my brother's name, Daniel, you know, so it's a hard one for me to put on everybody, you know. And it's not that common that I've run into that many Daniels, but it says Isaiah chapter 53, verse 5. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Oh man, that is I mean, that's truly amazing. You know, here it is, you know, like he made us for him, you know, for him to enjoy us, right? And right off the bat, you know, right off the bat, our free will gets us in trouble. And just like how much he did to keep us, like, you know, to not have to get rid of us. He did everything he had to do to keep us, not just for the present moment, but forever. I mean, that just if you can think about that amount of time forever, right? That is I mean, it's big, man. like a trillion years is going to be like a nothing, poof, you know, because we're going to be alive a lot longer than that. And if that's not big enough to kind of scare you a little bit, right? Think about how perfectly made we're going to have to be to last that long, right? And so we're going to be very strong and very clean probably, and just not be in any pain anymore and not be tired. No, Michigander isn't here, but when he is here, his name is Daniel, and so he changed his name right here to Daniel. That's a book of his grace. And my brother's name is Daniel, and so there's a lot of Daniels, is what I'm saying. And right, Stephanie, I know. She's texting me while while I'm on the thing. It's weird now, like I've had to like really start taking calls like all day, and like I was even contemplating the other day, like maybe I could take calls in the bathroom too. I mean, is that crazy that I even have to think about that? I'm like, okay, well, I could take calls in the bathroom and that's another 10 minutes or whatever. I can't do that, man. I need privacy to do that and to eat. People think being a Bible believer is easy, is hard, but it's easy. Yeah, you just believe what it says. In fact, here's the best part of it, because then people aren't happy with that. They're like, "Oh, you believe what it says? Well, what do you think it says?" And you're like, "Well, you can read this and this, and that's what I believe about it." Because really, it only matters what God says about it. Like, it doesn't matter how I put it into different words, or if I say this word or that word or whatever. I know what I had to do for salvation, and it's much different than holding a checklist and saying, okay, hold on, I got to believe, okay, then I have to do this. No, it just sort of like happened. It took care of itself. Like, I got helped through all the things, right? All the steps, and more, you know and I think that, instead of looking for like all these definitions, right, and something to argue over, I think that, we're all supposed to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, and reverence to God. Especially, I mean, once you know that He's real, it's time to get serious. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 24. Wherefore show ye to them and before the churches the proof of your love and of our boasting on your behalf. That's boasting for Christ, though, right? Boasting for what He did. He deserves that, though. You know, it's like being the hero of the world, right? Better than the hero of the world. What a story, right? Like, if you were gonna write a book from start to finish with all the characters in it, um, I mean, what a loving story. Everyone who wants to make it can make it, and nobody has to face punishment except God, who comes down and does it for us. And everybody gets forever, and God commits to us for that long. I mean, how could it be any better than that? And then God wants you, right? Because He made you exactly the way you are. So, He's probably the only one that knows for sure, because He wouldn't have made you if He didn't want you forever. And so, like, you think about things like that, right? It's deep, right? But you're like, wow, man, like, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that because I've never felt that way about myself before, or even thought things like that. And I'm at a point now where it's time to accept that that's true, right? You're going to have to accept that God loves you and wants to be with you forever. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, no problem, Faith. Do what you got to do. Tell Rick I said hi. And, I think about those things, about how much He's done for us. Because, I mean, right in the garden, right? He could have just said, well, you ate from the tree, it's over. But to reconcile us from the very first man. And then think about everything that one sin brought into this world, wars and famines and everything, right? All that stuff from sin, right? But it all had to happen for everyone to be created. And I remember, I forget if it was second or third Ezra. It's like some obscure, like, non-canon book, I think. where Ezra's talking to the angel of the Lord, like how much longer do we have? And the angel of the Lord is saying, well, until everybody is created. I mean, that's just amazing, right? Like, and then when you read things, right, in the New Testament that says, we're waiting on the fullness of the Gentiles, it like kind of confirms that, even though I know that means that we're waiting on the fullness of the Gentiles to get saved. We're waiting for the last person with an opportunity to come, right? And that's like so loving and so wonderful, so loving. I can't think of something that is I mean, I've actually talked to people, right, where they didn't want someone to have like another chance, right? Like say like after after the rapture, right? That there's people that get another chance. I've actually heard someone say that it's not fair that someone gets another chance. And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, I'm like thinking in my head, right? What are you talking about? Like, we are not perfect people, man. Like, trust me, none of them. I don't deserve to go anywhere, right? So if I'm all for anybody getting any kind of chance or whatever, like that's crazy to talk like that. To me, it is, because we're talking about a lake of fire. I mean, that's insane. I want as many chances for everyone as possible, but I also want to, be with him, right? And so I know that it'll work out the way it's supposed to work out. I know it will, and it'll be fair. It'll be exactly the way it's supposed to be, and we'll understand that. I know we will. And so it's like, for me, it just comes down to trust, right? I trust him with everything. Yeah, exactly. Salvation is totally one-sided and not fair. That's what I say that like a couple weeks ago. I said grace isn't fair. That's it. Grace isn't fair. You have to live with it. I forget who I said that to. I can't remember. But yeah, try-hardism and all that. Yeah, forget it. And yeah, none of that is I mean, I don't know, man. Some of it is cringy, but I don't like I'm not upset at anyone for feeling that way on that kind of stuff, because they have to start somewhere and get to a point where they've accepted the grace, and there's no doubt when you like there's no doubt when you feel it once you no, I don't know about. See, I don't even know what that is, right? What is that like? I don't know what that even is. I just know if you want to go, you can go. I thought Calvinism, someone explained it to me as like that it's like predestination or something like that. Which is, I mean, that's kind of a trick word, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 21, providing for honest things, not only in the sight of the Lord, but also in the sight of men. Yeah, absolutely. If you can't be honest, and you can't even start with anything, God is always watching. That's the one thing that makes me feel happy, is that I know that if like there's going to be lies, God will see them, and I don't have to worry about any of that. It's disappointing when people lie. That's what I think. But I thought Calvinism was like predestination. And so it's kind of a tricky thing to say, because of course God knows what's going to happen, right? He knows what card we're going to pick, but we do get to pick the card, right? And so there is free will, and you go if you want to go. But I believe also at the same time, you can't add any information to God. It's not going to be a surprise to God at the end. who's there and who's not. It's going to be exactly the way it's supposed to be. But it's also 100% our choice. It's not predestined that, one person's saved and the other person's not, just based on, no, it's you have a choice. It's free will. It wouldn't be free will if you couldn't choose to be saved. Then it would just be, I mean, it wouldn't look good, man. You would have a choice to not make it, and maybe still not make it. That would be your choice. And so I would say, read the chapters I was saying, right? I would probably read all those whole books, and you'll have an idea between you and God what salvation is supposed to be. And I pray a lot too. Even before I had the Holy Spirit, I would pray, just pray. If you ask God to help you through salvation, He will. I have no doubt about that. Chapter 2, Second Corinthians chapter 8, verse 15. As it is written, he that had gathered much had nothing over, and he that had gathered little had no lack. Well, yeah, if he gathered little, right, but he had a lot of faith that that God would provide when he was in need, sure. And if he that gathered much was prepping because they didn't trust God. But I can see people gathering much and still I could see people gathering much and still trusting God, Yes, through our free choice. Yes, absolutely. Everything is free will. Like, no, it's not decided for us before. God knows everything. you can't get around that. That's why people you can't get around the fact that God knows everything. And so, do I think that He knows? Sure, but we choose everything. That's the whole point. Or else, when Jesus came to sacrifice Himself, right? He would have just done it for everybody, and we wouldn't have had a choice. He would have just been, okay, I did it. The fact that it even is a choice is because we have free will. Oh, so you don't believe that you can't choose your next breath? I can choose not to go to the bathroom. Right. The older I get, the less I believe in. Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, we can only do out of the choices that God gives us, right? So, yeah, in that sense of the word, in that sense of the word, we can only do what is there, right? There's only so many moves on the chessboard, right? And He knows them all. God is so amazingly, like, he's on another level with what He knows, you know what I mean? Like we couldn't even understand one part of that. And so, like, how are you going to take information from God and then hide it from God and then give it back to Him and add to Him somehow? You can't, because everything we get comes from Him. And then if we hold on a second, guys. Sometimes I don't get people. I apologize for that, guys. But and I'm gonna like probably fix that because that like the last like few shows it's kind of like gotten in the way where like some people don't like to chat in the box, right? So I'll get like text during the show. And so I gotta stop that because it's getting in the way. And so sometimes people think that, oh, something's being talked about, that it's going to be talked about all the whole show, and then they leave or whatever, and then want to know what the show's about right in the middle. So anyway, I'm just going to carry on. And so, yeah, it's wolves, man. Like, so being a sheep, yeah, I get what you're saying. So if you believe less in free, if you believe in So, Alex, are you saying that you believe that it's predestined, that there's people that were created to not make it? Because, I mean, that's hard to reconcile. I don't think that I can think that way. And there are some things that we don't like to do anymore. But yeah, well, yeah. Like, so once you have the Holy Spirit, you're going to start being like him, right? You're going to start like not wanting to be around people that curse a lot or drink a lot, that kind of thing, right? And or watch TV, and those things might naturally happen. It's not like an effort, right? But it's a choice. It's a choice to if you want God in your life or not, right? I mean, he respects our dignity as like our own sentient being, right? To let us choose. I don't know why I'm getting so many texts, but I'm not answering them. So there are some things that we don't like to do. Yeah. And so what were you saying there, Daniel, when you're talking about being a sheep can make people into wolves? Now, see, I don't know about that, right? Like if you're just doing your best, right, to be um yeah, some people only think of themselves. But yeah, so like when you're trying to be tolerant of people and you're trying to be patient, yeah, people are gonna take advantage of me. I get it, right? But the only way that people are gonna know us is by how we love each other, right? And so if I can be an example of that, even though it may not be fair to me, right? I'm doing it for God. And so Matthew 17:15. Yeah, you can post that if you want. I'll read it. And there's something, yeah. But I think that that's what's important, is see, a lot of times what will happen is a Christian they'll think of themselves as like they're the middle of the world. And so if something's not right for them, they quit, they walk away, right? When they don't think about, okay, well, how is this going to affect everybody? The bigger picture, right? Oh, so you believe the contrary. See, yeah, that's what I was saying. The more you act like a sheep, I think the more you create sheep, That's what I think. But I could see how a wolf could attack though. Like if you're like doing radical forgiveness and turn the other cheek and all that stuff, right? Yeah, people are going to take advantage of that. But God's not going to let you be victimized. You got to trust God. But he prepared, right? Well, yeah, absolutely. But see, this is the thing, right? Do you think that those good works that he prepared have to do with like if like with your salvation or for other parts of your relationship? Or is it just another thing? It's another part of your walk, right? Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. But see, like how do you attach that? How do you measure that? Like Like when I hear Jesus talk about, if you love me, you'll do my commandments, right? Love God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, everything, right? And love your neighbor as you love yourself. Then I take it for what it says. If you love me, you will do my commandments. And so I do love him, so I will do it, you know? But I don't add, I don't make more out of that than it says. It's like if it says that, that's what it is. And like a lot of people will say, well, read this. It means that if you don't do it, then this, and this will happen to you, right? But it doesn't say that, you know? And I know it would be very clear. Like a lot of things are clear to me, but like, and then I'll be talking to someone that doesn't see it, but I know that it's not determined on how much it's determined on how much you're allowed to see. You know what I mean? Like there's people that have been studying the Bible 50 years, man, that get stuff wrong, right? And then there's people that have been reading the Bible 1 year that are just on, they're on fire, right? And there's no way to quantify how that happens or why. You would think a person that studies more would know more, but it's what their spiritual condition is, right? While they're reading, is how it's going to you know, unveil itself to you, right? And so some things are just like simple. It says you're supposed to do, and that's it. The confusion comes, right, from what people want to add to it. And see, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. I mean, it even says if you add anything, you're going to get all the plagues, you know? And so that's not something I'm interested in. And so I really think that being in a good being in good spiritual shape, like don't ignore the spiritual side, right? As far as taking care of yourself in that way, like we're doing here, we're talking about God as much as we can. If you keep that part healthy, then things are going to open up. But if you're always stressed and you don't ever really go to God that much, and I mean, it'll be harder to know what to do and harder to accept the answer when you see it, because you'll be like, no way, that's the opposite of what I want to do, right? Right. Because they're more concerned with being right than being right to each other or right to themselves. You know what I mean? Like having the perfect definition is somehow important to them when really it's the trust we have for God that he'll get us through it. He said that he was going to take care of us. He said he wants us to come to him. He wants everybody. So if he's going to help my brother with his softball game, he's going to help me with my salvation. You see what I'm saying? Like, trust. Oh, you can see what Alex is saying. That's great. Why didn't you see before? Did you know? Did you know what happened? Oh, beaming love. Oh, I like that. That makes me feel happy. Cause yeah, I really think it's trust and faith and belief that he's going to take care of us. And I think he wants us to come to him for everything. What's up, Deb? What's the question you have? And so, I guess there's more virtue in patience. Oh, you mean about seeing your, yeah. There's more virtue in patience than faith. Yes, but that's her middle name, right? It's that's so crazy. Patience is my middle name. That's so crazy. Hey, official facts checker, how you doing? Well, see, like I came on at 7 today, but I really should have came on at 8. That would have been like prime time, because we had 2 mostly the whole time. I knew that like an hour later would change it, and then like I put it out on my community board one more time. I know it's your real middle name. I know it. I know it. But what's even weirder though, right, is your last name is an anagram for fear, right? And so faith and fear are opposite. The odds of that happening, right? Because that's your married name, right? Is the odds of that happening are like astronomically not, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy that that worked out how it did. And so, you know, oh man, I'm just so excited about things that I'm learning now and things that are being uncovered for me. And, you know, the people in my life that I like, I really check myself, right? Because there's some things that I'm like, okay, well, this seems right. This seems right. I should care about this and that, right? And it's all good, noble stuff, right? But then you check yourself with somebody and then, you know, find out, okay, well, wow, half of what I thought was actually a good idea isn't, you know? And so to accept that help and to start doing things differently and then seeing everything get better when it really should be getting worse, right? Like then you're like, wow, like God has a way better plan than I do. And it's more like he's cleaning everything up, like making it better for everyone, you know, both sides of everything, you know. Oh, they slid a Marie in there, huh? That's pretty good. I like that. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Did you get the job? Or did you find out? Or I know it's pretty early for me to be asking you that. I think you will get it. I think you will because you went to the interview and everything, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to hear about it. So please let me know. And it's just been so great. Like this last week has been so great. I mean, obviously you see the changes. It's like I don't know what to say. All I know is it's a better place to come to, a better place to come back to, right? And here's the thing, right? Like I had one person blocked, and then I had another person blocked, but now those are open. But it's still gonna take people being serious, right? You know, people being genuine, right? And so, you know, I just trust God with that. Keep your heart open so that you can forgive, right? That's the whole thing. Because I'm doing that for God, right? I knew a girl named Paz Guerrera. Paz is peace, Guerrera's wow. Yeah, that is. But see, I think God gives us our names, right? I mean, we get named what, like our grandma names us, our mom names us, whatever, right? But I think God picks our name like, you know how like all the patriarchs' names in the Bible, like if you line them all up, like they like start saying messages, like it's so amazing. If you've ever seen one of those videos where they line up all the names and say what they mean, it is just so great. And so I think that we get named by God before, and then we end up with our name. And then, you know, if you get married or whatever, that you know, it that's already in the plan. That's what I. Oh, okay. You said it went great, man. I really hope you get it, man. I think you will. Did you like the guy? I mean, did you like feel like you hit it off or the lady that was interviewing you? Your nickname for a bit was Feather. I could see that. Yeah. I don't know. My dad had nicknames for us, but it was like derogatory. You know what I mean? It was. He used to think that was funny. I mean, it was kind of. I mean, in a way, I guess you could say it's funny, but it really wasn't that funny. Like you had to just kind of live with it. You know, be like, "Good morning, a hole." You know, and you're like, "What?" It's like, why are you calling me that? Like, my name means pure, and my nickname since childhood, which isn't linked to my name, means brave. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. My brother used to call me my brother used to call me Siba, right? Because he couldn't say my name, right? He's 5 years younger than me. And so and then, he was sick for half of his childhood, but like he couldn't pronounce my name. So like they still call me Siba, him and his kids, right? So I don't know. I don't mind it so much. I think it's cute. It doesn't mean nothing, I don't think. Yeah, yeah. I think so too because it's like original because he couldn't say my name and he wanted to so bad, you know? And yeah. And so I look at it that way. And so yeah. I just can't wait for I'm so excited about everything. I'm so excited about everything. I'm excited about tomorrow. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I've been like praying for extra strength and extra like energy and health and all this kind of stuff, right? Where I normally don't really pray like that about myself. And man, do I feel amazing. Like, I can't wait for tomorrow. And I don't know if I've ever been like that for like a day in this world, you know? Not that I'm going to go out there and be part of it, but uh, anything could be great at any moment, right? Oh, yeah, right. Well, I hope she liked you enough so you get the job. That's what's the important part. And oh, yeah, I'm still celibate. Yeah, yeah. There's no question about that. I'm gonna stay that way until I'm gone. There's, I mean, there's zero, very almost zero chance of that ever happening. Almost zero. And so I just can't wait to be with God. And like it's not so much that I don't love people or that I don't see value in like relationships. I was in a lot of good relationships. There was a big long stretch where could never have survived out of a relationship. I always needed to be with somebody. But with how I feel about my flesh now, it's gross to me. And so I don't think I could love anybody that way. And it's not I don't consider it a bad thing. It is what it is, and my life is actually probably better if I was being honest. Almost zero means that like right, God can do like a .0001 chance and make it happen, right? So yeah, mine is almost zero, right? Zero chance. It would have to be someone exactly like me that would like sit over there and leave me alone or something. And that's not fair to somebody, right? Hopefully, hopefully, like she'll want me to leave her alone or whatever. Then it's like just having your buddy over, That'd be just as good. I just wanted study God on YouTube and read my Bible and do the show. And then like I was going through like this period of time where I would go to like, you know, channels that weren't Christian, that that maybe there would be some people that are like the type that would become Christian, you know? And then I was trying to meet like 50 people a day or 100 people a day that were lost. New people every day. But it never really went well. I never got up to 100. I think I got up to 50 one time. And only like one in every 300 would ever come here. And I don't think it works like that, you know? I don't know, you know? I just kept trying stuff and learning the hard way, right? What not to do. And so, yeah, absolutely, Chris, there's definitely going to be prayers for you. Alone in this together. Yeah, that's pretty good, Alex. Yeah, it's good to have that type of integrity, you know. And I just can't wait to get this meat suit off of me so that I could worship God the best way. Yeah, you're right, Deb. I mean, there's some things I wish that I didn't do, right? Like I do regret them. But yeah, I did learn the lesson I was supposed to learn, and we're all probably better off for it, you know. But it's you still like, even though you learn the lesson and everything ends up the way it's supposed to be, you know, it's not like you're glad that it happened, you know. It's like tripping and falling and breaking your leg, but then like, you know, boom, there's like a big old diamond ring like on the ground, and so you had to break your leg to get it. But you know, are you happy you broke your leg? No, but you're glad that it worked out, right? I don't know. Is that a good way of saying it? Because I think about that parable of the pearl, right, where he sold everything that he had to get that to get that land so he could get more pearls. Well, that depends, Debbie. I mean, are you trying to cram things? Like sometimes I'll do that, or I'll try to get a lot of Bible in my brain because I want to remember it like how other people remember it. But am I doing that for me, or am I doing that for God, you know? Because there's people that are just faster and better than me at it, and I want to be as good so that the conversation goes good. But I think that there's some times where I'm not going to learn new stuff, you know. His discipline is always for good and helps us grow. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's how I fell in love with my hubby because, see, that's good, man. They say that um, families that pray together stay together because even Christian marriages are a 50% divorce rate now. That's people that say they're Christians. I don't know, right? But if you pray together, that changes things, right? 3 knots in the cord. So what does that mean? What is 3 knots in the? Am I missing something? That sounds like a good saying. I wonder what that means. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to hit the dusty trail. I can't really hold the group past 45 minutes. I'm not that entertaining. Like I'm surprised we got to this level. But Good morning, Michael. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Sorry about not getting back to you yesterday, man. It's getting so hectic, and then I did catch up on some sleep, so it's like it's a little. I know you're used to me getting right back to you, but I cannot keep up with what I got going on. I'm like I physically can't do it, and so there are still a couple things I haven't even got to yet. And so anyway, I just want to say that I'm like super grateful. I like that number 12, right? Because it reminds me of Jesus. I just love him so much. I feel like that's him saying hello. And then when it drops to 11, you know what I think about. Oh, okay. So email me at goodservant22@gmail, and I'll give you my number. And then you could text me whenever you want. If you text me, that's probably the best way. I mean, if you call me, you'll probably get me half the time, maybe. It's hard because if I'm on the phone with somebody else, I don't want to be looking at messages or all that stuff, right? That's how I get in trouble. I love you guys too. I do, you know. And so, yeah, and get some rest if you're not feeling good. So, it's hard to keep up, man. It is. There's so much to do, right? And like everything is going by so fast. Oh, that's great that you fixed the dryer. That's good. Was it an easy fix? Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 11. Uh-oh, you're paraphrasing horribly. Oh, 3 knots in the cord. I get what you're saying. Well, every time I read Ecclesiastes, right, it's always like, you can have all the riches in the world, and then like the next sentence will be like, what's the point? What's the point of getting rich? Nothing matters, And you're like, wow, man, like I don't know what to do anymore. Good book though. Good book. I like them all. I don't have any criticism. It's just like different, It's different. Yeah. I'm glad you're feeling better too. Alrighty, guys. Praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. All glory to God because he deserves it. Please pray for the children out there. Please pray for anybody that is being victimized out there. Pray for each other, even the ones that aren't here. It's important. And I will see you guys, Lord willing, at let's say 5 o'clock tonight. All right. Love you guys.